co-founder of DLA Nights. I've got Tiina with me today, and we're going to be talking about her book, How to Be Found by Recruiters on LinkedIn. Tiina, I've read this book, and I tell you what, anybody who's out of work at the moment needs to buy this. And the reason for that is it doesn't just tell you how to create your LinkedIn profile if you're out of work or you've been laid off. You explain as a recruiter what you can see through your recruiter edition of LinkedIn. And you say, if you don't do this, I can't see you. Or if you don't do this, I can't get the right response from you. We're going to talk about this in more detail. So I really enjoyed it. I'm not looking for work, but I'm basically saying now, whenever I find someone out of work, I say, buy this book. Tiina, where can people find you?
Thank you so much, Tim. The best place to find me is, of course, on LinkedIn. That's my preferred social media platform.
And Ben says hello.
Hi, Ben.
So just give me the reason why what was the inspiration behind writing the book?
Well, I think there were two inspirations. I worked with executive search for the past 20 years, and I often get the same questions from people. And I thought the best way to get all the answers in one place is to write a book. So anyone can really afford this book and get answers, because one-on-one coaching is more expensive. But if you get the book and take action, you will get exactly the same results. And 2 years ago, I followed a course that's called Visual Storytelling and Sketch Notes, and I started making those drawings to help visual learners to understand better and get the message. So there were people on LinkedIn who said, Tiina, you have to write a book with your sketch notes. So I combined the two of them, and that's how the book came.
Because each chapter starts off with the cartoon. I'll bring it in a bit closer so that.
Exactly.
So how can we be found on LinkedIn by recruiters?
So the most basic thing is to update your profile, because most people whom I meet, they say, oh, don't look at my LinkedIn profile because it's not updated. And most people who are not looking for jobs, they just created an account and never did anything with it. But it's so important to update it from time to time proactively, because you never know what can happen in life. I meet so many people who have been made redundant, not because of their own results, but that something happens in the industry or in the company. So one day to another, you find yourself out of work, and it's really much better place to be proactive and do this work before you need a new job.
I think there's two things that I always see. Well, first of all, most people can get laid off.
Yes.
And they don't know about it. You know, that it just arrives. And I'm sure it frustrates the hell out of you that first of all, foremost, they haven't updated their CV, or they even come to you without having done it. And the second thing is that they haven't actually invested in building a network. And that means, but both of those things, that they're behind in their job search, isn't it?
Yes, and you come with a totally different energy when you network with somebody without needing a job, or if you reach out just, hey, give me a job. That's the most common thing that I hear from people, and that's not how you start building a relationship. So it's really important to help others before you need help from your network.
Yeah. So to take us through three things on your profile that will allow you to be found by you as well.
The most important thing on your profile is your job title, so your current and previous job titles. and and some companies have really fluffy job titles that are not used anywhere else.
I know I have a friend who's just become chief storyteller.
Wow. What does it even mean? I
I
will
don't know.
never.
I thought it was. I kind of actually thought it was kind of a joke, and I went back and said, did it happen once upon a time?" And
So there you really have to put the name that's used in your company, but also in the experience section, or somewhere on your profile, you need to put the real job title, because otherwise you will never be found. And it's really good for the company to keep you as the best kept secret, but it's not good for your career.
so Matt Pybus, Matt is a friend of mine.
Yeah.
He's actually asking a question. A common demographic overlooked in the recruitment game are the over 50s. How would you advise the golden girls and boys to present themselves?
Well, it's the same thing everywhere, I think. People over 50, because what we're looking for normally in job description is people between 35 and 45. And that's a conversation that I have with the hiring managers, with the companies who ask me to find international talent for them. Would they be open to have people who are over 50? And then they say, of course. It's all about the mindset, it's about the attitude. And sometimes it works both ways. So the companies need to be aware as well. Of course, if you are expecting a VP salary, and you're applying for a managerial job, it's different. But if you already have had all those great titles and now you just want to contribute to the team and to the company, it's totally different. So you have to be open to have the conversations and the expectations. And I think people over 50 normally don't have small children at home, so they sleep at night and they are a great asset to the team and the overall knowledge of the company.
So thank you for that, and thanks, Matt. So in terms of the three things that we need to be doing, we need to be updating our profile. We need to be building a network. What else should we need to be doing as well?
I think there is one feature on LinkedIn. It's called Open to Work. So
Yeah.
there are two versions. One is the one where you have the green banner around your profile photo, and this is for somebody who is out of work and looking for a new job, like right this moment. But if you still have a job and your boss doesn't know about it, you can be discreet about it. And LinkedIn has an option where you can talk directly to the recruiters, so people who use the LinkedIn recruiter version. So that's how you can tell which kind of positions you're open to, and also the timeline. If it says I'm immediately looking, or you can say that I'm casually looking. So I think everyone on LinkedIn should put that one on their profile, because you never know which opportunity might come up, like your dream job. So that means that you're open to have conversations. You don't have to say yes and sign the work contract the first conversation. It's all about showing that those are that's the future where you want to go to, because we can only see what you have done in the past, but I want to know where you want to go in the future.
So this is something, isn't it, that you can see.
Yes.
Their employer can't see it,
No.
or and nobody else can. But at least that what they're indicating to you is that they're open for a conversation.
Exactly. And I get a list, it's like a Google search. I get thousands of results of candidates. And if you have indicated open to work, you will be on the first page, and you want to be on the first page to be found. Those are the people I contact as the first priority, because I know they are actively wanting to have those conversations and they are active on the platform.
Yeah. Um, so I've written down here active talent. Is that a is that what we've just been talking about?
Well, that's part of it. That
Yeah.
means that if you're looking for a job, you should be active on the platform, because even if people have indicated that they are open to work, but sometimes it takes 3 weeks before I hear back from them. So if you're looking for work, come to the platform at least once a day, or once in the morning, once in the afternoon. I know it's challenging to go back to LinkedIn, and you're applying and you don't get any feedback, because recruitment takes time. Sometimes it takes months before you find the job. So but you really have to show up on the platform, because LinkedIn shows the candidates who are active to recruiters, because they know that's what LinkedIn is selling, the candidates, the talent. So if you're active, LinkedIn will with the algorithm will show your profile to more recruiters. That's how you will be found. If you are
And
not on the
I mean,
platform,
there's a saying, isn't there, that that
yes,
looking for a job takes as much time as doing a job. But I mean, if that's some of the things that you need to do, then you kind of need to do them. But maybe people don't know because they don't know your side of the story.
exactly. And also, if you apply for jobs through LinkedIn, that gives an indication to the algorithm that you're active. So everything you do on the platform, I get an indication that you're active. It doesn't tell me how many applications you have sent to which companies, but at least it shows this is active talent.
And what about skills like keywords and stuff like that?
Well, keywords is and skills, that's what I'm working with. Every job description has the skills, what I'm looking for, and LinkedIn matches those skills with the talent. So when I'm asleep, then LinkedIn suggests me new candidates in the morning, only based on the skills. And the most important skill is your job title, but
Right.
also your industry, and anything that's found in a job description that goes with your job title. And in different companies you can use different synonyms, like purchasing, buying, procurement. It's all the same thing, but you have to have all those three on your profile.
And what is the difference between a headhunter and a recruiter?
A headhunter is somebody who works for many companies, and a recruiter is somebody who works in one company, recruiting specifically for that company. But if I'm interviewing somebody who is not a great match with, let's say, Coca-Cola, then I would remember that actually there is another company like Nike where your profile would be a better cultural fit. Not saying that you're a bad person, but just it's not a cultural fit. So I can uh, introduce you to another company. So that's why it's quite interesting for people to connect with headhunters in their local area, in their industry, if you're looking proactively for new jobs. I know so many people who have never applied for a job, that they always were headhunted, but that doesn't mean that it only works one way. You it's a relationship. You check in and see um, how things are going. And I often contact people for sourcing, asking, do you know anyone else? So it's important to have those conversations to stay on
I,
top of the mind.
I was always told from a very young age that the relationship that you had with recruiters was something that you could ultimately go through the whole of your career,
Yes.
on the basis that you may change jobs in sales every 2, 3, 4 years. That you would end up going back to those people, or those people would ring you in 2 or 3 years and say, "I've got this opportunity. Are you looking for a change?" Um, and I was always told it's a strategic. It's you basically you need to have some friendly recruiters that you will have for the whole of your career.
Yes, and it's also good for the recruiter to know you, and And sometimes the best recommendations come to those connections. And if I send a message through LinkedIn about a new job opportunity and you don't reply, I will see it 5 years later as well that you didn't reply. So take those, I don't know, 1 minute to reply that it's not a good timing, but let's stay in touch for future opportunities. Just this little gesture shows that you're interested in building a relationship.
So we got another question from Matt, which I'm interested in, is what are your thoughts on flare posts? Should you do them, or does it make you sound desperate?
What is a flare post?
I think it's when you put a post out where you say, I've been looking for a job for 10 months and I haven't got anything.
Oh, okay. I think you can do it directly in DMs, like in direct messages to a network. But if you're looking for a job, I would not say anything negative. I would just highlight your skills, and there are so many people out there who want to help you, so they reshare the post. But it's really the intention and how you do it. So if you do it in a nice way, most people want you to succeed and tag people to help you. I think that's human nature. People are kind.
I agree. I think that people are kind. And I think quite often if we're out of work, we can spend too much time overthinking about the fact that we're out of work. And actually, most people will want to help you. I mean, I'm forever putting comments saying sharing with my network and stuff like that on people on posts, because I want them to go out and get a good job.
Exactly. It's not only a job. I think it's so important for your family life. Everyone will benefit if you're doing a great job and living your best life and contributing to the society. So people really want to help you, but do it in a nice way.
Yeah. So one of the questions I got for you is about internal promotions, because I remember when I worked at Oracle, I was there for 10 years, and in 10 years I did 3 different jobs.
Yeah.
But what happened was that it wasn't until I'd kind of done the second job or something like that where, my LinkedIn profile for Oracle was just like blank, which is when I put in the internal jobs. Is that the right thing to do?
Yes. Putting the internal jobs is also something that gets you on top of the search list. So people who have had promotions, internal promotions, and it also gives me an indication where you're at, because I often hear I just had an internal promotion, so this position that you're talking about would be a lateral move, but I can't read your mind, so you're wasting everyone's time by not putting that up. And it's a good indication. So LinkedIn applauds that. They want people who have promotions. So that's a really good idea, but do it before you need a new job.
And doing it, I mean, at the end of the day, LinkedIn algorithm rewards you for coming to the platform and interacting, doesn't it?
Yes.
And if you keep that in mind, and always be nice to people and encourage things. I'm just going to mention Andrew, because Andrew comes to a lot of my podcasts, and he says that a job you have supports the life you want.
Exactly. It's we are human beings. It's our whole life. It's not like our free time and work. I think many times one energizes the other. So if you're in the right place, then the rest works out well as well.
So Tiina, thank you so much for coming on and talking about your book. I've actually just bent it to look at the, you've got one of those as well. As I say, I really enjoyed it. I'm not looking for a job, but anybody who's out there looking for a job, there's lots of resources, but this is a really good resource. just as it explains how to get your LinkedIn profile looking right from somebody that's actually got access to a system that is looking for people like you. And it was just like, there were so many things in there. I thought, I know a lot about LinkedIn, but there was a number of things in here which were a revelation to me about, I'd not thought about that because I'm not a recruiter.
So it was so good to share this information with backing up the data with real facts instead of just guessing, because that's how it works from the recruiter side.
So I'm just getting rid of a fly. Tiina, where can people find you?
So connect with me on LinkedIn, mention this show, and I'll be happy to continue the conversations.
Excellent. Thank you so much for coming on and talking about your book. Excellent book. And I'll